back? Is the microphone working okay? All right. Welcome everybody to the meeting of the Greater St. Louis Knitters Guild. I want to welcome the people that are watching on the YouTube channel. We're going to be taping the meeting, but it won't be live streamed, so you can watch it when it's uploaded, I guess later within the week should be up. And then all the other meetings and programs that we've had can be found on the YouTube channel for Greater St. Louis Knitters Guild. Let's see, I want to share the following quote from our information from Stephanie Pearl McPhee's book. Had it from last month too. This one is at Knit's End, Meditations for Women Who Knit Too Much. And it starts out with a little quote by J.R.R. Tolkien, "Not all who wander are lost." And then Stephanie goes on to say, "It is a little known fact that much like birds who can always find north, knitters can always find yarn. They can often be found seemingly wandering a store with no clear goal, driven only by the vague feeling that there is something good nearby. Similarly, when driving through a town that they have never been in, they are often moved by forces unknown to stop for coffee or a restroom break eerily close to the only yarn shop for 100 miles. Respect your inner compass, it points to yarn." We have some member news. We'll start out with some sad news. Our sympathies to Ermeline Westerling on the loss of her husband. She and George had been married for over 60 years, and it's going to be a private service. And some good news, Colleen raised $1,070 for the Food Knit-a-thon in March. So congratulations, Colleen. There's information in the April newsletter, so if you want to read more about that. She was working on a baby sweater. I just noticed, I guess a couple of weeks ago, that one of our members, Corey and Jenna have a new podcast on YouTube channel. If you look for Knit and Jenna and Crazy Cat Lady, they're on their third podcast, and it's just fun. They're showing their works in progress and some things that are from the deep stash, things they're making. And anyway, check it out. It's really cute. They're on Instagram too, but if you go out to the YouTube channel and look for Knit and Jenna and the Crazy Cat Lady. And Crazy Cat Lady is Corey. So check that out, it's fun. And let's see what else do we have. Sandra shared with me an article that her husband found in the New York Times about British knitters who are knitting these elaborate mailbox toppers. So if you guys want to read that article, there's a huge one that's a caterpillar. But the bad thing is people are stealing them. They're so cute. So you see these big, red mailboxes in London, and I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but if anybody wants to look at that article, I'll have it up here. All right, that's all the member news I had. Did anybody else have any? Okay. Then we're going to go on to the Midwest Fiber Festival. I'm going to have, where did Heather go? Okay. If Heather wants to start first, and then I'm going to have Alice tell about the guild.
I can talk about. Yeah. I like yelling at people. Hi guys, Heather Swan with Midwest Fiber Festival. Just wanted to throw out there, we are still looking for volunteers for the weekend. We're going to start vendor load-in on Thursday evening. We have 40 vendors coming in. 11 of those are indie dye yarn. And then several others will also be carrying several types of yarn and stuff like that. So get your knitting on. We still have a handful of classes left on the knitting side, but if you want to stretch your fiber arts adventures, we have felting, weaving, spinning, crochet, all the things. So come out. Also know that if you bring your projects, we're going to have areas for you guys to hang out, and there's also going to be demos all weekend long. Friday night is our vendor preview from 5 to 7 p.m. The only way to get in there is if you sign up for a class. That is your ticket to get into vendor preview. And I've had some emails coming in like, oh, can't I just buy a ticket? No. The only way to get in is if you register for a class. That's how you get into the vendor preview. And then I see Michelle is here today from Seven Sisters. So shout out to Michelle, Abby from B Place, Nicole from Weave and Wobble, and myself from YarnCom. We are sponsoring the bag, so every single person that comes to the festival this year is going to get a little bag. We expect you to fill it up and have a good time and anything. So thank you guys always for the support. And if you do want to volunteer, I will be here for a while. I've got a little code you can scan on your phone and sign up. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Alice, do you want to come and give us the? Alice, go here. I'm looking for it. I'm not used to
My thing is I'm recruiting people to man and volunteer at the guild booth. You know, we're going to offer ball winding. We are going to charge for it. You know, like maybe if somebody is hot on wanting to get a project started and they bought their favorite yarn, we'll bring them a thing. We will have ball winders and swifts there provided. It's not like everybody, if they're working a shift, has to bring in their own. And it's just having at least 2 people in the booth per 2-hour session for coverage. And that's my thing right now. I figure we're going to learn as we go on some of this, and it's going to be fun.
Where can people volunteer?
I have a sign-up sheet laying right over there on a clipboard with cutesy stickers on it.
Okay, one of the other things over at the hospitality table, Tony brought in some little pony beads, and she said these could be used for decorating hats. But I pulled out this yesterday for a project I wanted to make. I have these little row counters, and you just, you know, there's a thing you can go on YouTube and figure out how to do this, and then when you finish a row, you just slide it down. You just slide it down. And then the next one, you just slide it down, and then you don't have to, and I pinned it to the outside of my bag because I'm making a Sophie scarf, and it's, you only do like 4 or 5 stitches and change a row. And it's like, well, I'm going to forget when I have to do my decrease every 8th row. So I just push it over, and it's been real easy, and I just pinned it to the outside of my bag. So there's another idea that you guys can use these little pony beads for. And I think this only has 10, but you know, I don't really have to be too big, but anyway, those are over there, thanks to Tony. Okay, we didn't get to install 2 of the officers last month because they weren't able to attend, so we are going to do the installation of Michelle Aarons and Carol Reagan. If you guys want to come on up. We want to see your pretty faces up here. Or pretty masks, whichever. Okay, so this is Carol, turn around. This is Michelle. Okay, so we are...
Face the camera, ladies.
Oh, yes, if you want to say hi to the camera. Okay. Okay. Will you uphold the purposes and bylaws of the Greater St. Louis Knitters Guild? Answer by saying yes.
Yes.
Do you accept your election by the membership and agree to serve in the office to which you have been elected?
Yes.
Do you intend to carry out the best of your abilities, the responsibilities and duties of your office as stated in the bylaws?
Yes.
Okay, and then now to the general membership, do you accept these members as your officers for the coming year, giving them your ideas, support, and help whenever you can by answering, yes, I will?
Yes, I will.
Okay, these candidates have been duly installed as officers for the Greater St. Louis Knitters Guild and will serve until their terms expire in March of 2024.
2024?
Wait,
That's right. Thank you.
thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, now that we've got that little piece of business out of the way, we'll go on to our business reports. Minutes, are there any corrections to the minutes from the May 11th meeting that were published in the April newsletter? Do I have
I
a
move
motion?
that we approve them.
Okay. Mary Dale Bannister, and then second? Who's second? Judy? Okay, so the minutes are approved. The treasurer's report. Are there any questions on the February treasurer's report that was published in the April newsletter? And if not, that will be submitted for audit. So now we're going to go on to our other reports. Administrative VPs, do you, Carol or Michelle, do you have anything to report for the, no, okay. The potluck is, we've put in the newsletter that the save the date for the potluck is on June the 11th, is that the right date? I guess I should have put the dates of the meetings on here, then I would know. Anyway, it's the second Saturday at the Point in Baldwin, and we're going to have a display. I think we're able to get the display.
We're gonna find out.
We're going to find out. We may have a display in the lobby, but it's also Knit in Public Day. So because the time for the luncheon doesn't start till 11:30, everybody's welcome to get there at 9 o'clock and knit until it's time for the luncheon. So they will be setting up between 11 and 11:30, but we're not able to go in until everything's set up, because we're also going to have a trunk show. Leading Men is going to do a trunk show that same day. So we've got a little bit going on, but come and hang out for Knit in Public Day, and there might be a display, so it's going to be fun. As far as what to bring, we're not going to have you sign up to say what you're going to bring. We usually have a good variety of food. You don't need to have more than food for 6 to 8 people, because it's not like you have to bring food for 20. So whatever you bring as far as a dessert, an hors d'oeuvre, or if you get some sandwiches and have it cut up, or chicken, we've had a lot of different things. We make sure someone brings chocolate cake, brownie, something. That's all we'll have is chocolate. But anyway, the luncheon will be from 11 till 3. I think it's from 11 to 3. So, yes.
So if you get there early, where do you get outside?
There's in the lobby of the Point, there's a nice little display case, and it's going to be, and I don't know northwest which direction, but we'll be out that side, and hopefully we'll have a sign up.
We don't have to bring chairs.
No, I think there's enough chairs in the space. If not, we'll pull one out from the meeting room. So that's the only thing I know about. And then if you want to sign up to volunteer, we'll have a sign-up sheet in May. So, we just need to make sure that you know that you're going to be able to come and help set up things. And I'll probably have beverages provided by the Guild and just whatever we all need. We usually have plenty of volunteers. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else for admin, VP, or the potluck. Communications. Mary.
You can keep it. It looks so good on you. And plus, I started teaching when they didn't have microphones, so y'all can hear me, right? Excellent. Wanted to talk a little about social media this morning. We are doing great on social media, just in case you guys didn't know. We could do better, and all of you can help, okay? So first of all, just our YouTube channel, which we didn't have until COVID, right? We had no YouTube channel until COVID. We already have 252 subscribers, which is kind of a lot for YouTube. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's almost as many members on YouTube as we have in the Guild itself. And with those, even just in the last month, I just pulled up the last month's stats. Just last month, we got 6 new subscribers, 127 views. So 127 times people went in and looked at one of our videos. And do you know how many minutes total they watched those 127 times they went in to look? 521 minutes. So people are paying attention. Now, for the meetings like this, these are not getting as much attention as when we are able to record and put the program in. But these are really good statistics. Just in case you were wondering though, our more established areas, Ravelry, we have 838 members in Ravelry right now. And we have, guess how many on Facebook? Somebody guess. No. 949.
Oh my gosh.
Now, here's the way that you need to help us with our popularity on multimedia. Every time you post something interesting and people see it and they want to join our group, that's going to help. So anytime you see a cute cartoon about yarn, or maybe something from the Yarn Harlot, a quote somewhere, post it on Facebook, maybe not on Ravelry. Ravelry tends to be more about specific patterns and knit-alongs and stuff like that, but Facebook, you know, we haven't, I just looked this morning and we haven't had a good post for like 2 weeks. There's no excuse for that. We all have plenty of knitting stuff. So when you're posting something and maybe you knit something and you're taking pictures for Ravelry, put them on Facebook too. Because that's gonna get us a lot of attention out there and that's gonna get us more people, which gets us a little more money, which gets us the ability to do more cool things, right?
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Excellent, that's all for me.
If anybody wants to submit an article for the newsletter, the deadline is April 30th. So that will go to Sarah or just newsletter@gslkg.com. So if you've got any kind of information that you'd like to share, that's another good place to communicate. Do you want to use this or? Please.
I'm Pam Riley, the community service person, and our goal is 1,200 hats for adults and kids. That doesn't include baby hats. And we generally distribute sometime in November or December, so we have until that time to make that happen. And that would be about 110 hats per month that we collect. Today we have 102. If I asked somebody if they've seen the newsletter, how many hats we have collected since January, they didn't know, but it is 352. But that is less than 110 for the 4 months. Okay, so just to have you know that. In the April newsletter, there's going to be a little modification of the blanket, baby blanket pattern from Margaret Tucker. There were some calls, I got a couple of calls from people that were having trouble with they had problems working that blanket, starting it basically. And I looked back at it and it's like, yeah, it could be clarified and I'm going to work on it. And there might do a variation too. So anyway, that's it.
My question was,
Yes.
when you put on that, you said no holes, but that has holes in the edges. That's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I did it.
Yeah, it did say no, they want to avoid lacy patterns.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
just lacy patterns
Yeah.
with lots of stuff. And the modification, I'm gonna do a variation, and basically it's a lifted increase instead of a yarn over increase. And there'll be less holes at the edge.
Pam,
Yes,
the yellow baby blanket back there, that's that pattern. I made it.
correct.
But I had to revise the pattern because there are problems with it, so.
It's clarity,
I rewrote
it's
it.
clarity issue, and for some people, they just snap through it. I snapped through it without any problem, but then like looking back at it, I'm like, oh, I see the difficulty here. So it's one of those test knitter things. Sometimes I blow past major errors in test knitting, and it's like when I look back, it's like, oh my, I should have said something on that. But
And the pattern's not on Ravelry because it's in that encyclopedia book, so you can't look it up.
Yeah, we'll put another kind of a revised, corrected version
yeah,
of the newsletter.
in the main newsletter, we'll do that.
And I didn't put a thermometer for the hat count in the last couple of issues because we really didn't have that many to count. But I'll start putting in a thermometer so we all kind of can keep track of where we are on our 1,200. Yes.
I read across a pattern that I'm using instead of the one that was listed on the newsletter.
You can definitely do another pattern. If you find one that you really like, go ahead and do it. It's the size of 30 by 30.
Right. The one I'm using is called Grandmother's Favorite Neat Edge Dishcloth. And it looks like that one,
Right.
except it's
Well,
got a slip
somewhat.
stitch edge on it. So
Right. But this one has the 8-row repeat with knits and pearls.
Yeah, this is just garbage.
That's just garb.
So it's grandmother's favorite neat edge.
We're
Dishcloth.
targeting
Dishcloth.
35 foot. So it doesn't have to be square. I prefer not the round.
Yeah, I think that's what the original pattern was kind of designed from. And then instead of just having it all gartered, they had one row. Every fourth time you did a pearl to make it a stocking kind of, yeah. I'll put some information on Ravelry with that link and start a little thread so that if anybody's interested in it, we can put that in there.
Okay.
Okay, education VPs. Susan?
All right, today our program is going to be chair yoga, which is going to be awesome. I'm really excited about that. And then next month we're going to do a program on blocking. So if you have any blocking tools, like the pins or the like the long wires, please bring those in. May doesn't have any of. I have like the big pin things, but if you have blocking tools, please bring those in. Bring in anything that you have blocked or something that you haven't blocked because you're scared to. Something that, you know, maybe if you have pictures of things before and after you blocked it, that would be great to see as well. I don't know if we're actually going to be doing any blocking. I'll have to talk, May had to leave, so I'll have to ask her about that. But we might be able to do, I think she said we might do some steam blocking, because she has a steamer. But I'll get more details on that. We'll make sure it's in the newsletter and on the website. But that will be our program for May. And then June's potluck. I think that's it for now. Any questions? Okay, thanks. Yay.
You're a hospitality princess. Come on, Minnie. And a brand new crown.
I know. Timu came through for me. It's fabulous, isn't it?
Love it.
Thank you. I finally went on the website. It's fantastic. And so this little lamb is for Susan because she did such a good job.
That's really sweet of you.
You're welcome. So often board members don't get a lot of appreciation. I know, I was one 3 times. So, let's see. So Joan was talking about finding yarn. My friend Carol and I were on our way to Camp Stitches. We stopped at Augusta, Georgia. Yarn shop closed. We spent the night so that we could go the next day. Okay, gotta find my visitor. We have one visitor today, and I hope I'm not gonna mess up your name too much. Mary Kelsheimer?
Very good.
Okay, German too. Welcome. Unfortunately, since you're a visitor, you don't get a chance for the fabulous prizes. So we have one visitor and 51 members. So on with the prizes. Cassie Day. You're welcome. And of course, if you won in the past year, we have to go on to somebody else. Kelly. Okay, Kelly. All right, Brad House? No, it's you. You. She writes like a doctor. Barb Rollins?
Number 7.
I won in the last year though.
You're welcome.
I won in the last year.
Okay, give me a number then.
32.
Okay. Marion Lyons. You're welcome. Francis Packard. Nancy Gibson. And last but not least, Joan Hesserman. All right. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Where is it? I just don't want to fall over.
Okay, we're gonna do show and share. So I guess I already showed my little slidey things with beads, but I wanted to show my cookie jar cow. This is made with 30 mini skeins of koibu yarn. Came in a kit that I got from Seven Sisters that had 11 yards and 30 different skeins. So we had a little knit-along group. So far we've got 3 of 5 people that are going to be making it. So as soon as we get all those people together, including Michelle and Carol, we'll have a group picture. I'm making them feel guilty. But anyway, it was a fun project. You could use one main color and mix the, mix every other. But yeah, it wasn't bad once you got started. So that's my cookie jar cow. Goes with everything. Okay, who else has? Alice has. Come on.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna
They'll start coming.
You
up.
go first.
Come on, stand over here.
Okay, I'm wearing, this is an oldie, Wave of Change by Denise Bayron. And it's a top down, I've made 2, love it. This is one is made out of Malabrigo Mecca that I won at the yarn call prior to COVID. And I did make it 10 rows longer or one pattern repeat longer because I wanted to.
I forgot to tell too, if you have a picture, if you have something to show, then go back and have Lee take your picture so we can have it in the newsletter and on Instagram.
Is that all one piece? This is all one piece, top down. Yeah, but as you go back and pick up the sleeves and stuff, but yes, it's one piece.
This is a side weird show and share. This is not something I knit, obviously. These are little kits. I saw one of these get given away. And I wanted to show you what you can do with them. So in the top of this, what I did was take last year's cardinal magnet schedule. And I put, oh I can't, it's glued down, that's why it's like that. Glued it down in the top so it will hold my needle. This is big enough to hold, this is a Fiskars foldable scissors from Hobby Lobby and a $1.99 tape measure from Hobby Lobby. And of course you can fit various stitch holders and stuff, which is great. This little one is all the little junk that I keep on the table next to me when I knit. A whole bunch of little various kinds of stitch holders and a little needle to stitch things together. And it makes my area much neater, which makes my husband happier. But my cats are less happy because they don't have as much to play with. So I just want to show you these things. It's so easy, both of them, just a little piece cut out of the old cardinal magnet.
This is a multiple project story. I've always been interested in labyrinths. They're meditation tools. They've been around for centuries. Often found in churches, but typically you walk around them and use them as a meditation tool. You can, but if you're not able to walk or don't want to, they come in all sizes. So I have one that's this big around. And sometimes there's ones that are made out of wood, about this big. And I decided to make one that would fit on a tabletop. It took me multiple tries. If you imagine, this is my first try. There's a lot of mathematics involved at this point because I had to work out the charting and the increases and decreases and how to knit a flat circle and then how to manage all these different colors. On this one, I tried ladder back jacquard. I didn't like the way the back of it worked and it had some other problems, so that was try 1. The second time I decided, and this was really the best way, I used double knitting. So it's a It's a mirror. But I didn't like the way my increases looked. They're in lines and it looks kind of awkward. And I was having problems with my gauge being different on the one side from the other. So I didn't even finish it. I was getting discouraged, so I looked for other ways. This one is a version of what they call the no-sos labyrinth, and I used the 10-stitch blanket that was popular a couple years ago, and worked it around in circles. And this was really fun, but to get this big enough to go all of these rounds, it was going to be too big. And I tried to make it smaller. That didn't work. But I'm persistent.
I love that you didn't pull it apart. Thank you.
The first one I just about did. This one I did using intarsia. And that's not bad. I got a little tired of it and all those little balls of yarn. And I didn't like the way the back looked, but generally it was pretty good. And by this time I figured out how to do my increases so I didn't have strong lines, and I still came out with a circle. But I'm persistent. This is my last one. This was a success. This is double knit. I like the way I did the increases. I figured out how to make my gauge work correctly. So this is success. And this is going to a friend of mine who is a labyrinth coordinator. She leads workshops on labyrinths and things, but she has very bad arthritis and is no longer able to walk easily. This is going for her.
Okay, I've got two projects, and the first one is rocket socks. This was by Megan Nodecker, I'm not really sure. But I was at the Midwest Fiber Festival and I saw this pattern and had to have it. And it was fun. This one uses the fish lapels for the sock. And thanks to Marcia and Martha, I got through it because I didn't get it right the first try. But it's what I'll use in the future because it really makes a nice edge, nice heel. So that's the first one. And then the other one was we went to the yarn dyeing, a group of us last October, if you remember. And the white is the dyeing that I did. And then I had to find the perfect project for it, and it took a while, but this is called Oleo. And there's a lot of mosaic type knitting in it, which is quite fun. And you know, then I found the perfect, at YarnCom, found the perfect coordinating yarn with it. And I just love the way it turned out.
I'm back. Got socks again. And several meetings ago, somebody said that the first thing people do when they get up here is talk about all the errors. I'm not going to do it. These are perfect. Don't look too close. This is a pattern from Charming Colorworks socks called Spicy Socks. I love growing chili peppers in the summertime, so this is one I chose to work second out of this pattern book. I think it turned out great. The only problem is I ran out of this red color, so I had to dye the red for this sock. So you wouldn't be able to tell them apart if I'm not going to show them to you longer because it's perfect. I learned a lot, and I have now registered for Lil's Colorwork class socks, Christmas stocking class at Seven Sisters, so I'm going to learn a lot. Had a great time, and this book is really interesting and worth getting if you're interested. Found it on Amazon. I got it first from my public library, so you might be able to find it from Interlibrary Home to take a look at it. And if I know that you're really interested, I'll bring it back in my bag for next meeting. So. It's called Charming Colorwork Socks. The author is Charlotte Stone. This pattern is called Spicy Sock. There are different, and Martha has already opted for one in here that has it's an Easter kind of sock that has an egg yolk on the toe. I don't know if you can see it well here, but there's something in here for just about everybody that is interested in doing color work and socks. So I'll bring it back in the next couple months. Thank you.
Somebody left their little bag, so I don't know who stored their. Give it back to you. Is this your little bag for your socks?
What's the knitter without a plastic bag?
So we're going to take a little break. How much time do you need for the chair yoga program?
I won't take as much.
Okay. Let's take a break until about 2:45, and then we'll do our chair yoga program. So see you back here, and then check out all the pretty charity donations in the back. There's really some nice stuff.